Hi, I want to thank everybody for coming in. I'm State Representative Tony Hwang, and it is an absolute pleasure of mine to bring Connecticut Challenge to Hartford. Connecticut Challenge is a cancer survivorship awareness program, and its mission is to outreach and support cancer survivors throughout the state. Let me begin by introducing you to Jeff Keith. Jeff is the founder and the missionary, so to speak, of this wonderful organization, and I would love for him to be able to share how he got started and how he's making a difference every day in the lives of people that care.
My name is Jeff Keith. I lost my leg when I was 12 years old to cancer. I'm proud to say that 30 years later, I'm alive and standing, and so one of the reasons why we started the Connecticut Challenge was to help cancer survivors in the state. Our goal is to empower cancer survivors. We do that through programs we fund. We now fund 13 hospital partners across the state. The question you might ask is, how do you raise the money? We raise the money basically through a bike ride. Our ride now in its 6th year is on target to raise close to $2 million this year. Our goal is to make the Connecticut Challenge as large as the PAMAS Challenge, which today in Massachusetts raises $30 million in one day through a bike event. If we can do that someday, we can give that money back out across the state to all the cancer centers that treat survivors. We just wanted to come up to Hartford today to tell people about what the Connecticut Challenge is. And our goal is there's 120,000 cancer survivors in the state today. We impact the lives of over 9,000, and our goal is to someday reach all 120,000. So thank you for your time.
Jeff is quite humble in his approach. Jeff is an inspirational example of somebody who lives every day to the fullest. And in addition to doing that, he has found it a part of his mission to give back. Jeff has, when he found that he was stricken with cancer, fought through and went to college and engaged in a very active lifestyle and actually walked across America. Ran across America, and then, as if it wasn't an encore, began Swim Across the Sound, the wonderful program that is based in southwestern Connecticut. He originated that, and one of the things about Jeff that we need to know is the fact that he gave that program up because he felt the mission was to help others, not to take possession of anything that he has built. So with that, Jeff, I applaud you and your public service. Now with that, as successful as the challenge is in raising money and the organizational part, we want to be able to have you know about the challenge and be able to have you participate and engage in it. And Bob Mazzone is the executive director, who is the person who makes that all happen. So if you could speak a little bit about what the challenge is all about.
Has anyone ever heard the expression Lance Armstrong's famous expression, "It's not about the bike"? In the Connecticut Challenge, it's not about the bike. It's about why you put yourself on the bike. We'll have 1,000 riders on July 30th, and they're all putting themselves on the bike because someone they love has battled cancer, is battling cancer. They've seen the difficulties that people who have battled cancer go through, and that's what the Connecticut Challenge is all about. So the Connecticut Challenge on July 30th, there's a map up here when you have a chance. It's not necessarily for bike riders, it's for people who care about other people. It's for people who want to help friends, family, loved ones, co-workers, who want to have a lot of fun on a great day, great spirited, emotional, enthusiastic day. This is unlike no other event you'll ever participate in. All the money that we raise goes to support cancer survivors. Now in that vein, I would like to introduce you to one of the beneficiaries of the Connecticut Challenge fundraising right here in Hartford. I'd like to introduce you to Chris Pates, who's the Director of Development from Connecticut Children's Medical Center, which is just across the street. And Chris will tell you a little bit about what the program they have going there for pediatric cancer survivors and some of the support they've received from the Connecticut Challenge.
We are the state's freestanding children's hospital, and what we do is we take care of all kids that come through our doors, and about 150 kids this year are going to walk through and get a diagnosis of cancer. And the good news is that kids are living longer with the disease. We have some outstanding treatments, but we really haven't figured out exactly what the effects of those treatments are long term. So in our survivorship program that's supported by the Connecticut Challenge, we evaluate kids 5 years out of treatment, the effects that the treatment have had upon them, but also we're supporting 2 very important research projects. One's looking at cardiac toxicity of chemotherapy on the heart. You need your heart your whole life, so it's really important that we figure out how much chemo can be given to a child over what period of time. And also we're studying physical activity during active treatment. We tell kids to go home and relax while they're having treatment, watch TV, but is that really beneficial? One of our doctors figures no, and actually the more active kids are, the better they tolerate treatment. It's a network. We all work together to make sure that cancer survivors have the services they need, and that's possible with the support that's raised through the Connecticut Challenge. Thank you.
I'm very pleased to be a part of this effort to help raise awareness about cancer survivors and support for cancer survivors. I was asked to lend my support to this effort by a gentleman who works for the Judiciary Committee. I happen to enjoy the privilege of serving as the Senate Chair of the Judiciary Committee. And one of the staff people there is a cancer survivor, I've come to learn, and this gentleman is Mike Smith. So it's a pleasure for me to respond to his invitation and to help support this challenge and the effort to raise awareness and support for cancer survivors.
Senator Coleman mentioned Michael Smith, and I felt it was important to close this event by bringing somebody in who lives this experience and lives a fulfilling experience of contributing back. But I would love to hear his story and what makes him and what drives him. And he is a big credit for making this all happen. So come on up.
I was diagnosed with Burkitt's non-Hodgkin's lymphoma in July of 2008, the summer between my junior and senior year of college. And to make a long story short, it ended up missing my fall semester senior year, going through 4 months of active, intense treatment at Yale, about 30-odd days in the hospital. I saw the Connecticut Challenge brochure talking about this ride for survivorship and how they have these different mileages. And it was one of those, in college I swam, was an athlete, and really being diagnosed with cancer was a huge blow to me personally, being in shape, or what I thought was in shape and healthy. And so it kind of set my mind to next year I want to ride that 100 miles, want to do that, prove to myself and hopefully others that having cancer isn't a death sentence. There are things after cancer. Just because you're sick at one point doesn't mean you're sick for the rest of your life, and there's still stuff to go on and do forward. As Bob and Jeff and Tony and everyone else has mentioned, it is a fundraiser, so if you're willing to help sponsor my ride, I would love that. But more importantly, come check it out, enjoy the ice cream, see what the organization does, and tell survivors, tell other people, and really help raise awareness and help try and make lives better. Thank you.